some easy points you can get on these word problems. Every time I give you a word problem, I will give you 1 point if you tell me what your variable is. I do not want you to write an equation that has an x in it and for me to have no idea what x means. Because a lot of these problems, there may be different ways you could set them up. And so without you telling me what x represents, I don't know if you're right or wrong. So first, identify the variable. That may be in words, you tell me x is the height, or it may be you draw a picture and just label x. Either one counts. Second thing, you have to put everything in terms of the one variable. If we don't know, well, if you remember Algebra 2 you do, but we can't solve equations with x's and y's in them right now. We're only dealing with one variable at a time. So I don't want to see an x, y, and a z in your problem. I want you to put everything in terms of one variable. 3, set up a model. That just means write an equation. Then we solve it. Make sure your answer makes sense. And I have one more step I want to add to this. My rule is if I give you a problem in words, I want you to answer it in words. So on any one of these word problems, if you miss everything else, I will give you 1 point if you told me what x was, and I will give you 1 point if you write a sentence at the end. Those are easy points you can get, even if you did everything wrong in between. So let's just take a look at a problem. So like I said, this is typed up on your handout that's posted, so you can just put example 1 and make yourself a note to look on Classroom. It's got the actual problem. If the length of each side of a square is decreased by 6 centimeters, the perimeter of the original square is 8 less than 3 times the perimeter of the new square. What's the length of the side of a new square? So if I just read that, that makes perfect sense to everybody, right? You guys know exactly what to do. No, you can't just read the whole problem and know what's going on. You have to break it down, go step by step, okay? First thing, the length of each side of a square. I'm going to stop right there. I'm talking about a square. What could I do? Draw a square. Let's start there. Okay. So I'm going to take that square and I decrease each side by 6. So now what do I have? Yeah, we've got a smaller square that's been formed, right? We've subtracted 6. So I'm going to draw myself a second square here. And we can label these sides. Did I know how big the side was in the original square? No, so I'm just going to call that x. That's identifying my variable. That's all we have to have. The new square, I don't want to call it y, I want it in terms of the same variable. We decreased it by 6. So Braden, what did you say it was?
X minus 6.
It's x minus 6 now. Okay, so that's step 2. Everything's in terms of one variable. Step 3, we're going to try to write an equation. So let's read what else it says. The perimeter of the original. How do you find perimeter? Add all the sides. Perimeter is distance around the outside. So if I added all of those, we just get 4x is, in math, what does is mean? Equals 8 less than, so what does that mean? We're going to be subtracting 8 from something. Less than, decreased by, those mean it goes at the end. You're subtracting that off. 3 times, oh, I've got 3 times the perimeter of the new square. Okay. So I need the perimeter of my new one right here. We have to add up all these sides. So we could either write x minus 6 plus x minus 6 plus x minus 6 plus x minus 6. That's kind of annoying. Or we could just take it times 4 because there are 4 sides. So I'm going to write 4 times x minus 6. That's the perimeter of the new square. Or if that confuses you, you could go out to the side and add all those up and get your perimeter. That's fine too. Let's stop right there. Any questions on how I got that equation, or have I lost you anywhere along the way? So now this is just like the problems from yesterday. We're solving an equation. So if we start on the inside, what do I need to do with my 4? Okay, so that would give me a 4x minus 24. Now what do I need to do? Distribute again, so that would be a 12x minus 72. Okay, add like terms. Need my x's on the same side, so if I subtract over my 12x, divide by -8, and I get x equals 10. Am I done? I have to write a sentence. Go back and look at what the original question asked. Make sure you're answering that question. I wanted to know the length of a side in the new square. So my new square was this one over here. If x is 10, then this side would be 10 minus 6, which is 4. So the side is 4 centimeters long. Questions there? Let's do another one. A rental car company charges $20 per day and 30 cents per mile for renting a car. Janice rents a car for 3 days and her bill comes to $72. How many miles did she drive? So we've already established, if I just read the whole thing, we probably get to the end and have no idea what we just read and no idea where to start. Is that fair? So let's back up. Can I draw a picture for this? No, I don't really need a picture. We need to define a variable. What am I trying to find? How many miles? So pick your favorite letter. K. Oh, okay, X. So I'm going to say X is the number of miles. That's defining my variable. Last time I was able to draw a picture, this time I can't, so I'm just going to say it in words. Okay, now let's go back and read. So they charge $20 per day and 30 cents per mile. So we can write an equation from this. How many days did she rent the car? 3. And she has to pay $20 every one of those days. So what would I do? Multiply. If you went ahead and just changed it to a 60 in your problem, that's fine. And she's also paying per mile, so I need to add in my cost per mile. Okay, so if you drove 1 mile, it's 30 cents, 2 miles is 60 cents, 3 miles is 90 cents, and so forth. What am I going to write there? Careful, make sure you got that decimal, because my 20 is in dollars, so I don't want to say 30x. I'm not charging $30 for every mile. So decimal, very important on that one. And what does this equal? $72. So there's my equation. Now we can solve. Subtract our 60. Divide by 0.3. What do you get? Are we done? Nope. Have to answer in a sentence. The question was just how many miles, and x is my number of miles, so it's just 40. So Janice drove 40 miles. Questions on that? I'd like to do one more, and then I'm going to give you guys time to try some of your homework in class. Okay? So this is going to be my last example today. So Al paints with watercolors on a sheet of paper 20 inches wide by 15 inches high. What should I do right there? Let's draw that. We have this rectangle. It's 15 inches tall and 20 inches wide. He then places this sheet on a mat so that a uniformly wide strip of the mat shows all around the picture. You know what that's saying? You have your picture and you want to frame it, so you're putting something behind it. Okay. So what should I draw then? A bigger one going around it. When it says a uniformly wide strip shows all around the picture, that means there's even amounts showing everywhere. So my picture is nice and centered in the middle. You can draw straight lines, that helps. We'll pretend. Okay. The perimeter of the mat is 102. We know perimeter is the distance around, so I'm talking about this total distance on the outside. I know that, so we just need to get some labels for those sides. How wide is the strip of mat showing around the picture? So I am trying to find this amount right here. And we said it was uniform, so all of those are the same. They're all X. need the perimeter of this big rectangle. So I need the length and width of the big rectangle. Let's break it down. From here to here, how far is it? It's a distance of x. How far is it from here to there? How far is from here to here? So all together, how long is this side? Add them. So it'd be 20 plus 2x. We just have to add our lengths together. Okay, let's do the same thing for the height. We know from here to here, it is x. From here to here, it is, and then from here to here is x. So all together, this side is 15 plus 2x. Okay, when I get my perimeter, I have to add all 4 sides. So I have the 20 plus 2x. How many sides like that do we have? 2. So we can either write it twice or just say times 2. Plus, we have the 15 plus 2x. How many of those are there? 2. So I'm going to take that times 2. And that equals 102. So then we multiply. So we get 40 plus 4x plus 30 plus 4x. I'm just distributing my 2's. Equals 102. Add like terms. 40 plus 30 is 70. 4x plus 4x is 8x. Equals 102. Subtract over your 70. And divide by 8. We get x equals 4. Then we have to answer the question. The question was, how wide is the strip of the mat showing? Is that what x represented? Yep. So, the strip is 4 inches wide. Any questions for me? That's where we're stopping today. If you look in Classroom, I made a post this morning and it has 2 PDFs. There's the section 1.6 notes and the section 1.6 assignment. So you want to use the assignment. I want you to do 1 through 4. You've got 15 minutes right now, 16 minutes to work on that. Ask for help when you need it. Make sure you are defining your variables and answering with a sentence. Okay. Tomorrow I'll just be doing the next little piece, and I think I'm going to add 3 problems tomorrow. So make sure you watch that video and try those 3.